Hey yo, we King Fight News. Shout out to Jason Cross of Laughs at First Sight. He did an interview with Eddie Hearn where he admitted that Al Haymon and Bob Arum trying to freeze him out of the US market. Well, let's see King Fight News. We got more on this. Alright, let's talk about the more obvious scenario, because I get the idea of Al Haymon freezing him out. I mean, unless it's been mandatory situations, when's the last time we've seen a PBC fighter fight an Eddie Hearn fighter? When's the last time, guys? I know it's happened before. Absolutely, I know it's happened before. But it's quite rare these days. And the most glaring case is when Anthony Joshua's opponent, who really, this is the problem with Eddie Hearn though. He's building up the wrong guys. He should have never been building up Jarrell Miller like that, man. Should have never been building up Jarrell Miller like that, but that's what he does. That's what he does, man. And he had people believing in Jarrell Miller too, man. He had a whole lot of people thinking Jarrell Miller can upset Anthony Joshua. And you know who you are. You know who you are. And it is what it is. That's what makes him a good promoter. Not to say that Jarrell Miller didn't have a shot, but Jarrell Miller had huge disadvantages stylistically going into that matchup. And we all saw what happened. He got X'd out as an opponent. Eddie Hearn back against the wall. He needed a replacement. And who were his top three? Michael Hunter and two other guys. Manuel Char was another guy on the short list. Eventually, Andy Ruiz popped up. Eddie Hearn jumped all over it. Eddie Hearn jumped all over Andy Ruiz. Luis Ortiz was given a pretty much the same offer that Jarrell Miller was getting. Luis Ortiz was trying to finagle his way to $10 million. That's what he's trying to do. He's trying to get himself 10 mil out of the situation. That wasn't happening. We know he probably ain't making that much against Wilder. But it is what it is. Because Eddie Hearn knows what's up, man. He knew there's no reason for Luis Ortiz to be turning this down unless he's walking into something else. And it's probably the Wilder fight. And we now know Wilder is looking at Luis Ortiz for a rematch. So Eddie's intel was actually spot on. Right? Let's give credit where credit's due. He was one of the first guys saying Luis Ortiz was probably promised a Wilder fight. And that's been confirmed 3 times over by Deontay Wilder, by Shelly Finkel, even by Team Ortiz in a way, turning down $7 million for no good reason. Now let's talk about this, because is Al Haymon trying to freeze out Eddie? I think the short answer is absolutely. I think this is what you get for going into foreign territory trying to take over. Y'all want to talk about the business of the game. This is the business of the game. Y'all want to talk about all that money shit? Well, y'all got to talk about Eddie getting frozen out. Because, as I've said before, Anthony Joshua is running out of opponents. And now he's looking for the smoke elsewhere. And it's like, yo, do they want to smoke with AJ? Is that the case? Well, all's fair in love and war. Right? When it's war, man. And that's probably what it is. But let's get into, it's funny how he threw in Bob Arum So let's talk about that. So Eddie Hearn's saying Bob Arum is freezing him out as well. And you know what? The funny thing about that is they've had several fights together. You know, one of the first fights they had in a long time was Scott Quigg versus, I think it was Valdez? Scott Quigg versus Valdez? Whoever Scott Quigg fought, he fought some Mexican dude, and it was a great fight. That was an absolute barn burner. Excellent fight. And now we see Eddie Hearn and Bob Arum working together on a lot of different fights. I mean, Anthony Crolla Lomachenko, Luke Campbell Lomachenko. We've seen Amir Khan almost in his own. You know, Eddie Hearn really wasn't a big part of that, but Amir Khan did fight Terrence Crawford. Looks like Kell Brook might fight Terrence Crawford, right? If Devin Haney ever becomes a Lomachenko mandatory, maybe that's an option for Bob Arum. I don't know if that's the absolute case, but I think that's the path Devin Haney's going to target. He wants to become Lomachenko's mandatory, right? And once Luke Campbell gets knocked off, and if your boy Devin Haney can get that fight against Zaur Alekverdiev or whoever that dude is, you know, if he can get that fight, that's basically going to be the eliminator. That's going to be the eliminator fight for the mandatory for the WBC. And it's most likely going to be Devin Haney. But he needs to get that fight. Now we're going to see if politics comes into play there. Because, you know, there are ways to block that fight. There are ways. Trust you and me, there are ways to block that fight. But I think there's a stronger case. And you know what? Maybe Bob Arum is trying. You know, he did try and block Devin Haney from getting the Luke Campbell fight, right? Suddenly Lomachenko swooped in and is getting a direct shot at a title in an unprecedented form. We've never seen a unified champion eligible for a mandatory spot at a vacant title. Never seen that. So that's more WBC politics over anything else. And talking about WBC politics, what they've done to Dillian White is just, you know, that's getting screwed with no Vaseline. that's what that is. Dillian White's getting it with no Vaseline, man. He's getting fucked over. Right? Having to fight Oscar Rivas, another Bob Arum fighter. Right? He might get dealt Tyson Fury if Fury doesn't want to make the Wilder fight. So there's a whole lot of options out there, man. And that's why I find it funny that, you know, oh yeah, Bob Arum's trying to freeze Eddie out. Well, in reality, Eddie's feeding a lot of his fighters over to Bob Arum. And Oscar De La Hoya, for that matter, in terms of all the guys that lost to Canelo. Right? Fucking Rocky Fieldings and shit, man. Eddie Hearn got like a laundry list of bums that he can feed out to these guys, man. He got a long list of bums. But even Hassam Endam, isn't that no, that's Yvonne Michelle. That's a Montreal fighter. Alright, anyways, E-King Fight News. Let me know what you guys think. Smash the like button and subscribe to the channel. You think Eddie Hearn's getting frozen out? You think Luis Ortiz was a prime example of that? Where Al Haymon may have blocked Luis Ortiz from taking the Anthony Joshua fight? What do you guys think? It's E-King Fight News. And for now, I'm out. Peace. And if y'all want to support the channel, hit up that Patreon link in the description below, man. Any kind of donations are appreciated. Point blank and period. It's King Fight News signing off.